Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's Mama Stula, and I know it's been a while. I've been in your faces again, but well, here I am, and I just thought I'd pop this quick video. I'm actually headed out, but I wanted to just drop this video before I go out. So today I'm going to be talking about a question that a lot of people have been asking. There's been a lot of debate about it, and I've been meaning to do this video for a very long time. And the topic is it better to come to the UK with a care visa, or is it better to come on a student visa? Mind you, the care visa is like the tier 2 visa, skilled worker visa, and then the student visa is the tier 4 visa. So the question is, which is better? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out the pros and the cons of both visas, so anybody who is coming in September or whenever would have an idea which one to come with. And again, if you have a contrary opinion, just put it in the comment section without insulting me. You don't have to insult me, it's my opinion. You have to, it's either you take it or you don't take it, that's fine. And then also, if you have anything to say as well, also put it down, like tell me what you think and all that. So we'll just get right to it. Forgive me, I'm panting, I don't know why. Okay, you know the drill. My name is Mama Stula. If you're stumbling into this channel for the first time, here I share my journey from Nigeria to the UK, how far I've come from the very beginning that I started. I've documented the entire process, what I'm doing now, how it all went. So if you're a first time subscriber, thank you so much. If you're an incoming subscriber, you are the real MVP. And then if you're just watching and you've not subscribed, I think this is a good time to subscribe, because on this channel I share vital information, especially when it comes to my school, Sheffield Hallam University. And by the way, I'm here on a student visa, not a care visa. So if you want to know anything about Sheffield Hallam University, I think this is the right channel to come to. I'm still panting, I don't know why, but anyway. Maybe because I'll be running off and down the staircase, that's why. So student visa or care visa, which is better to come with? I'd start with the student visa, which I'm currently on. Now for the student visa, you're actually coming to school. It's either you're coming to do a degree, BSc or MSc, and in this case, or PhD, and in this case most people are coming here for their MSc, then few are coming for their PhD, then a number are also coming for their BSc, but it's more of MSc people. And then for the most part, a lot of people just want to leave, so it's, but then you're coming to get an education while doing so. Now I'm also on a student visa, like I've earlier mentioned, but these are the pros and the cons of being on a student visa. Now, if you're on a student visa, the first thing that everybody should know, it doesn't count towards your stay in the UK. You could be on a student visa for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. It doesn't count towards your stay. So after the first year or second years, depending on how many years your course would be, you are entitled to the 2 years postgraduate visa. And then afterwards, if you don't get a tier 2 visa, you have to go back to your country. Now, in terms of cost, student visas are usually very expensive, and an average school fees is 12,500, but there are very few schools where you can still pay about 9,000. I know of University of Hull as at last year and some years back, but even University of Hull has recently increased their school fees to 12,000 plus, and then their deposit has also gone up. At all the schools, most of the schools have their deposit higher than it used to be to get your cards now because of school fees owing and stuff like that. So that's, then the student visa, it gives you the UK experience in terms of UK educational experience, which is a very, very important thing to have if you're here. Mind you, there are other things you can do that mustn't be MSc, but we're talking about MSc, that's why I'm focused on MSc. Now it gives you the on your CV, you put it there that, oh, you've graduated from a UK university, you're an alumni of Sheffield Hallam, you're an alumni of University of Liverpool, Manchester University, stuff like that. So it gives you more of an edge when you're applying to jobs, because every job you're applying to, most times they have spaces where you need to fill your school, but that Nigerian school is not going to show there. Then secondly, you're building your career. You're building your educational career in terms of you've done your MSc, you've done your BSc, you're doing your masters, or you're doing your PhD. So that's like a growth in the educational system that you're in. And then another thing I'd say again when it comes to student visa, it's the fact that you if you're doing a 2-year program, the fact that you might likely have the internship, like that's like the one I'm doing, and when you get the internship, it's easier for you to break into the work sector because you already have had a hands-on work experience, and in this country work experience is key. No matter how much degree you have, if you've got a PhD elsewhere and you don't have the work experience, the UK work experience, it's difficult. You find it more difficult than somebody else who's been here, who is here with a little UK experience in a particular field you want to go into. The first thing they ask is, have you got any experience in the UK? And then of course you can't lie if you haven't, because you have to provide reference letters from the UK and not from Nigeria. So it's really difficult. And then for those reasons, school is nice. It's a nice start, especially the ones that come with internship. And again, it also boils down to what you're studying. You're studying things like pharmacy, nursing, NHS, precisely health related courses. It's really good you come to school here, because at the end of the day, you're just integrating into the system. Now, those are the pros I can think of right now for coming to school here in the UK. Now, the cons. The first thing I mentioned was a con, but now I'm going to talk about the cons again. Now, the school fees is the biggest problem. The expenses you incur before coming to the UK. That's the very, 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 very first thing I would say is very discouraging, because it's very expensive. Like I've earlier mentioned, school fees is starting from 12,500, even though you have some schools who are less than 12,500, but it's rare. Now you're talking about IHS fee. If you're doing a 2-year program, you've got your IHS fee to pay for, and then if you're coming here with a family, you're not just paying for yourself, you're paying for everybody. So the expenses you're going to incur coming to school, it is absolutely ridiculous in some cases, depending on how large your family is or depending on your pocket. Because expensive is relative. £12,000 might be cheap to somebody else, but well, it's not cheap to me. I might not lie. £12,000 is a lot of money. That's like 11 million naira. So it's very expensive to come here on a student visa, and then it's worse if you're coming with a family. And I think that's and then again, it doesn't count towards your stay in the UK. Student visas do not count towards your stay. You're only coming to school to go back to your country, or if you're lucky enough to have gotten a job after school, then that's perfect. But other than that, student visas do not count towards your stay in the UK. It's just to come and to go. At best, you get the post-study visa. It doesn't mean people don't get the tier 2 visa after schooling or even before they finish schooling. People do, but then that's not what we're talking about now. Another thing again, student visa, being on student visa, with from my own experience, sometimes it's like a plague. Yeah, you go out somewhere and then let's say renting an apartment, for example. Landlords will not give you houses simply because you're a student. For the most part, they tell you, oh, it's for professionals only, or the 20-hour work restriction. That's very, very upsetting, because 20 hours work, you can't really use it to do anything. And then you're restricted to more of linear jobs, because at that point you've not built yourself to the point where you can now go into society and get meaningful jobs. It happens. People come from Nigeria with meaningful jobs, very, very good jobs here. People come here as dependents and get very absolutely good jobs here. Don't get me wrong, don't quote me. I did not say it doesn't happen. But as a student, you're already tied down to school. School is your sponsor. And then you want to finish your education. So in the time frame when you're going to school, you can't really do a lot of things you would like to do, and you settle for linear jobs. it puts food on the table. Don't let anybody deceive you. It puts food on the table. You will live comfortably to a large extent, except you're living above your means. But the question is that the kind of job you want to do for the rest of your life? For me, those jobs are just temporary. It's not something I would want to do. If you're like me, who likes a certain level of building career, I don't think that's the kind of work you want to do for long. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to call names so it doesn't look demeaning. But then all I'm saying is, if you're on a student visa, there's a lot of restrictions, and then the 20-hour thing is one of the biggest restrictions. And then the fact that you're being treated like you're not you're a second class or third class citizen simply because you're on a student visa. Even amongst peers, when you talk to people, and then especially our black folks, when you meet people like, oh, student visa, yeah. So there's always the iota of um people wanting to look down on you first. Not everybody, not in every case, but it happens. So, but most importantly, student visa do not count towards your stay in the UK. And I don't think you spent all that money to come to the UK to go back to Nigeria or abroad, wherever you are, then to go back to Nigeria. You spend that money because you want to come and stay and build a life for yourself. So, but then the good thing is after school, you might actually get a job, land a job. But then if you don't get that job, what's the plan? So it's always good that when you're coming to the UK, you have a plan A to Z. That's why I keep telling people. Always have a plan A to Z. If one doesn't work, what's the next thing? Always, 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 always have a plan A to plan Z. If I think of anything about the student visa, then I'll come back again. But for now, these are the only things I can really think of. Now let's go to the care visa. The care visa is social care. It's either a support staff, a care staff, a domiciliary care staff, mental health care, and everything that has to do with care and social health care. Now, coming to abroad with social health care, I'm going to start with the cons. And then at the end of this video, I will tell you the one I would advise anybody to do and the reasons why I would advise people to do that. Now, social health care. If you're coming with the social health care, first things first, it counts towards your stay in the UK. So you're given a 5 years visa. I can't verify if you're not signing a 5 year contract, but if your contract is for 5 years, well, signing, yeah, you're signing. But I can't verify if your contract is for 5 years, but it has to be for 5 years because anybody sponsoring, well, I don't have very many facts on that, so I won't really touch on that. But it counts towards your stay in the UK because you're coming in as a worker, as an employed person, and then the company that is bringing you in is sponsoring you. By sponsoring you, it's it gives you the stay in the UK without being scared of being pushed outside after 2 years, or like the student visa, or after 1 year, as the case may be. So it counts towards a stay, and then the expenses you incur for care visa, it's less than the expenses you incur for student visa. But then again, it still boils down to how you're getting the care visa. I'm not going to touch on the other part of getting the care visa for obvious reasons. If you know, you know. But I don't want to say too much on the other way of getting a care visa. That's your assignment. Go and find out that. Don't ask me. I don't know. But if a company employs you from Nigeria to come in and do care, the company is going to. I spoke to a colleague who came in from Zimbabwe, sponsored, and she said the company is going to pay for your IHS fee for the 5 years, as the case may be, and then your flight tickets, and then they put you in an Airbnb or a hostel or whatever accommodation they have. But I asked her if they sponsor the family, if you're coming with the family. She said no. Now, I can't really verify if that information works the same way for all care homes or care agencies, but that's what she told me. I don't know if there's any other company that caters for your children, or maybe they have a number of children or dependents they can cater for. But regardless, care visas are easier, are cheaper, not easier. They are cheaper to come to get to use to get into the UK, unlike the student visa. And yeah, another advantage of getting a student visa, it's the easiest and fastest visa to get. I left that out. Now back to the care visa. So when you're coming with a care visa, it counts towards your stay. You don't have to go get that stigma of you're a student, you work full time, absolutely full time. You can work and kill yourself as far as your strength can carry. And then, most importantly, I'll still hammer on this, it counts towards your stay. However, care visas are always not the best visas, because now this brings us to the disadvantages of coming here with a care visa or coming with a care visa. If you're like me, that likes to move, that likes to advance in the career, care visa is not for you, because care visa just keeps you in a place. There's really no career growth. No, now this goes two ways. There is actually a career growth and there is no career growth. I'm going to explain. Now, there's no career growth in the sense that every day you go to work, you do the same things, 5 years, 2 years, 10 years, 16 years. I've met people who have worked in care for 30 years. All they do is the same thing. We do the same thing. We earn the same salary. Now, there are some people who are further advanced. Now, that's what I mean by there is no career growth. Now, but there are people who are further advanced to go into nursing. Now, that's the beauty of doing care in this country, also any social care, any of them. You can either advance further to go and do social work. You can advance to go and do nursing. You can advance to go and do what's it this called, public health, all them health related things. After you've gotten just 1 year of experience, you can advance to those things. Easy peasy. You can go and do your MSc in nursing without any fuss. You can just, my sister did care for a while and then she went into social work. She's working as a social worker. So this is the part where I said there is career growth and there is no career growth. There's career growth in this sense if you're smart, if you know that this is not what you want for yourself, this is not this kind of stagnation you want for yourself, then after a while you can even, at that time you're earning in pounds. So if you're smart, you can save enough and sponsor yourself in school and do part-time or stuff like that. But you still have to find out, because I can't say for sure if you can do part-time schooling if you're sponsored by a company, but I think you can. However, I am not 100% sure, but those are the findings you can do. But if your intention is doing nursing and then you come in with a care visa, then you might, if you save enough money and you think you can go for the nursing, then that's fine, because when you finish nursing it's easy to stay back. Your sure of 100%, 101% sure of staying back. You do social work, you do something that you know is needed here, and then you don't have to struggle for sponsorship after you finish. So and then another thing again, I would not advise domiciliary care. People don't know. Before you get a care job, always ask, always look for information online. Do your research. Don't just take it because it's care. Don't just take it because they're offering you on a platter of gold. Domiciliary care, I would not advise. I don't think I've seen anybody that did domiciliary care with a good review, except one girl. I don't know why she's even happy about it. Now, this is why. Domiciliary care means you're going from one house to the other, and then you're paid per hour that you work. So it's hard when you don't have a job. I stumbled into a video of one girl. I don't know if I could find the video. I probably will put it on put her link on my description box so you go and see. She had to resign. And when I watched that video, it wasn't really nice. Like, that girl was just pouring her heart. She was pouring her heart out, telling people how it really is, and people were still insulting her in the comment section. Very, very bad. But then, from experience, see, this UK trekking plenty. You go waka, like you go come down for train. You go see waka for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. In fact, I've trekked to the point that if I'm working the 30 minutes walk, I'm like, that's not far. 30 minutes is not far. Yeah, because I do it every day, almost every day. So there's a lot of walking distances. So imagine walking 1 hour to go and look for one client and just to go and give injection, or not injection, go and make sure they take their meds, make sure they clean up or something, and then you're working another hour to go to another house. It's terrible. It's mentally draining. So I would not advise. Domiciliary care is good for people who are driving, and you don't expect to come from Nigeria immediately to come and start driving in the UK. It's not possible immediately. So I wouldn't advise. The best to do is support. Support is the easiest to do. Now, I'm not going to go into details of the differences in all of them. I think that's something you should go and do a research on if that is what you want to do. But I'm just giving you the pros and cons of these things and then which one I feel is good. Now, support is the best out of domiciliary care. Then mental health also pays better as well. But then mental health, as the name implies, the rest is history. If you can do it, it pays better. Even in nursing and social care, everything mental health in this country pays better because of the kind of people you're taking care of. So that's about that for the care jobs. So if I miss anything, please feel free to let me know in the comment section without insulting me. Not cost me, I beg. I dey beg. So now, If you ask me, I've given you the pros and cons of the two as much as I could remember. I didn't do a list, so I'm sure I've forgotten a lot of things. But if you ask me which one you would advise somebody to do, I would say come into this country with care. Don't come into this country with student visa. Let me repeat it again. Please, some people not going to understand this thing now, or they will still come and insult me. Do not come into this country with student visa if you have the option of care. Now, I will tell you why. In Nigeria, everybody wants to live, and the first instinct would be student visa because it's the easiest to get. That's why I got. So now the question is, why is she telling us not to come with student visa when she is on student visa? I was not too informed like that. And again, my plans and your plans might not be the same. So this is why, if you're okay, let me rephrase everything I've said. If your intention of coming to the UK is to Japa, I don't know how to pronounce it. If your intention is to Japa, do not come with student visa if you have option of care. But if your intention is to build a career, let's say you're a nurse, you're a lawyer, you want to further your career in that field, say you want to come and do medicine, a master's in your you're already a nurse, you want to come and do masters, those ones are understandable. Or you're a lecturer, you want to come and get a PhD just to further your career. But do masters or PhD as the case may be. But if you're, in fact, I'm dragging my ear, if your reason for leaving Nigeria is because you want to relocate here finally, it's not because you have any plan of coming to school, which is what is happening most times. If it's not because you want to come to school, do not come here with a student visa. Try and get a care visa. And then when you're getting the care visa, don't come with a domiciliary care visa. It's hard. Domiciliary care visa is hard. Domiciliary care is hard, not the visa. The care is harder. So that money you use in spending for school, invest it in the care visa and come here with care visa. Because the student visa now, I made a video a while back of people whose admissions were withdrawn. It's not about coming here to pay what's it called, initial deposit. Initial deposit, I've said this over and over again in almost all my videos. I point this out. Initial deposit does not guarantee that you will get the other money. See, it takes about 3 months to get a job here in the UK on an average, to get a stable job. I'm not talking about warehouse work. You cannot do warehouse work forever. Warehouse work, I have not seen a single soul who has done warehouse job that has a good thing to say. That's not the kind of torture you want to give your body. I'm talking about a stable job. It took me 3 months. It takes some people like 2 months. It takes some people like 1 month. If you're lucky, you might get it in 1 month. But I don't think anybody has gotten a stable job in this UK as a student or whatever means you came with within 1 month of your stay. If I as a student, we're talking about students. Yeah, it's not possible. From all the checks, from all the DBS doing, from all the back and forth and all that, it takes a while for you to now get a stable job, to now say you want to pay your school fees because you've paid the first one. You will lose your admission, you will suffer, you will sleep on the road. In this country, if you don't eat, if you don't work, you don't eat. So you don't just pack your bag and come because you've paid for cars, you've paid 3k pounds when your school fees is 14,000 or 12,000. Some people even pay 18,000 naira and then 18,000 pounds, and then because they paid the initial deposit, they're so happy they're going abroad. You will suffer. And then if you don't even have anybody here, it's worse. Trust me, I've seen people who sleep in kitchen, people who had to sleep outside in this cold because they did not plan well to come. People who came with a very, very wrong mindset. That's another topic for another day. Don't come here with too much expectation because you're going to get disappointed. See this place. It's nice, beautiful, system working, everything is working, but you need to put in the work. It's not like you just come in and then you start packing money, and then money here the government collects. As you work, you get, you give, you get, you give, you get and you give. That's how it is. By the time you finish all your bills for the month, you just have enough to go buy. You will live comfortably. You will live, you will eat. Is it chicken? Chicken is cheap here. Everything is cheap here when it comes to food and stuff like that. Then houses, the normal things you need, you have them. But when it comes to money, the money has to circulate. The system is made in a way that the money has to circulate. So I'm beginning to deviate from what we're saying. Yeah. My point is that money you will use for now. I was saying about the initial deposit and all that. If you don't have a plan to pay for your next school fees, it's a problem. My friend's admission was withdrawn people's admissions were withdrawn in my school. I don't know about other schools. So imagine you coming here and spending a lot of money and only to be told you have to go back. Or worst case scenario, you actually finish the school and then you don't even get the job. But then your plan, remember, we're talking about people whose plan is just to Japa and not to build a career. So it's different from somebody who's coming here who has already had a career path in educational career path. That's different. If your plan is to Japa, I would say it again, come with care visa. It's cheaper, it's easier, and it counts towards your stay, which is the reason why you're here. You're not here to come and spend all that money and go back. And then it's makes you work more, so you get more money, unlike students that are restricted, and then you would not want to go hide and work and get in trouble. You wouldn't want to do that. So I mean, nobody wants to be blacklisted. So for these reasons, I would say if you're coming because your plan is Japa, come with care visa. But if you're coming to build a career, please by all means come with student visa. And if your family is large, in fact, that story, I think it's a full video we use in explaining that one, because people don't get it. You can't just pack a family of 5, a family of 3, and come to UK like that. You will struggle. You will struggle. This country. Oh God. Even to get a house is a problem for the first few months. Some people get it before they come, especially people who have money. If you have money, you get a house. But how many people that come in actually have money? No. So with all these reasons, I'd say care visa is what I would advise anybody who's coming on Japa reasons to use. But career wise, come with your student visa. But make sure you have the money to fund yourself when you come with the student visa. Coming here to pay the remaining balance of your school fees, especially the first deposit, it's impossible. But if you were able to pay the first 50%, at least for 40-50%, then you can actually work, push the school time till you pay the other money. But the first one is not possible. Your CAS is not your school fees. Your CAS payment or your initial deposit is not your school fees. So be careful when you make these choices. At this point, this is the end of my story. If you have any other, what's it called, if you have any opposing views, please put it respectfully in the comment section. If you think I missed out anything, also put it. Somebody might be learning, somebody might be hearing you or listening to me and hearing us, and then you might be saved from making a very terrible mistake. Don't get me wrong, school is not bad though. I am a student. I mean, I like the name that comes with, I have an MSc. Is that English correct? Anyway, I like the name that comes with, I hold an MSc, I hold a master's degree from Sheffield Hallam University, UK, but my case and your case might not be the same. I've got my plans. In fact, there's a video I will drop when everything's due. I'm still working on something. If everything's due, I want to help as many people as possible to follow that route, but I'm still working on it. I don't have all the facts yet. I've not gotten it yet, but once I do, I'm documenting the entire process so I don't forget anything. People have been asking me money for the information I'm going to share when I drop that video. But one girl said I should bring £1,000 just to show me paper. Oh my God. Another person said I should bring £500. So I'm just working blindly and I hope I get it. And once I do, I'm going to show you how to get it, because there's absolutely almost no information online on the category I'm working with. So anyway, this is me again. At this point, if you've not subscribed, and in fact, and again, all the people I've been meeting at Sheffield Hallam, thank you so much. It makes me happy when somebody just walks up to me randomly and tells me, oh, thank you so much, your videos were so helpful, you're the reason I came to Sheffield Hallam. And the amazing part is I don't know them, I didn't ask anything from them, no money, nothing. I just helped them, and then the thank you is just so fulfilling. Thank you. I appreciate you for watching my videos, and I'm glad it helped you to make your decision to come to Sheffield Hallam. And I wish you all the best. People that are coming later, I wish you all the best. The accommodation video, I haven't forgotten. I just have been very, very lazy and busy lately. But I'll drop it. I will drop it. I promise. I'll drop it. I'm just trying to do as much interviews as I can, and I've done only one. So that's why I'm a bit discouraged dropping it. But I will. And then I will try to be in your faces more often. But if I don't, please forgive me. So at this point, I beg to take my leave. I'm going for a concert right now. All them mushy things under the plane. So that's why I'm just like this and all made up and stuff like that. So take care of yourself, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.